Lando Norris mocks his rivals after expecting more from them. Ferrari explains why they underperformed at the first race, and how did Mercedes manage to overturn Kimi's penalty? Do consider subbing. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Lando Norris, McLaren's rising star, has set the motorsport world buzzing with his bold comments following his victorious run at the Australian Grand Prix. Claiming that his rivals should not have been as far off, Norris has raised eyebrows and sparked discussions about the competitive landscape of Formula One in 2025. During the Australian GP, Norris showcased incredible skill, clinching the pole position ahead of his teammate Oscar Piastri. The McLaren MCL39 demonstrated impressive one-lap pace, leaving even top competitors like Max Verstappen in the dust, trailing by nearly 0.4 of a second. As rain influenced the race dynamics, Norris held strong against Verstappen's attempts to close the gap, showcasing not only the speed of the car, but also the strategic mindset of the McLaren team. After his remarkable win, Norris took a moment to address the media's focus on the car's performance. "I don't know why people always talk about the car so much," he remarked, with a mix of amusement and seriousness. He emphasized that while the MCL39 may indeed have its advantages, the entire narrative shouldn't revolve solely around the vehicle's capabilities. What was particularly striking was Norris's call for his rivals to reflect on their performances. He stated, "Me and Oscar drove very well yesterday, but others should not have been as far off as what they were." This statement underscores his belief that skill, strategy, and decision-making play just as critical a role as the car itself. He acknowledged the strength of the MCL39, but also highlighted a crucial point: not everything is about the car, and that's clear. Norris credited effective team-defective team decisions during the race, contrasting his current performance with past seasons where such decisions might not have led them to victory. "Today was a deserved win. We made good decisions as a team," he asserted. Norris's confidence not only demonstrates his maturity as a driver, but also positions him as a formidable contender for the championship this season. With a blend of talent and teamwork, McLaren is undoubtedly raising the bar, inviting rivals to step up their game. As the F1 season unfolds, all eyes will be on how other teams respond to this challenge. Will they rise to the occasion, or will Norris and McLaren continue to dominate the track? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: Lando Norris is not just a talented driver, he's a force to be reckoned with in Formula One. The Australian Grand Prix revealed some key insights, especially regarding Lando Norris and his performance. Reflecting on the preseason testing, Norris emphasized that while McLaren's high fuel pace appeared strong, they struggled on low fuel. He stated that they weren't the fastest, and even with maximum engine modes, he doubts they could have raced faster than their competitors. This acknowledgement of the team's challenges indicates a realistic approach as they prepare for the races ahead. However, optimism remains as Norris looks forward to the upcoming race in China, recalling a solid performance there last year, even with a less competitive car. This confidence could be the edge needed for success in future races. Throughout the race, there was an intense battle for position, especially between Norris and Max Verstappen. It was remarked that Verstappen nearly caught up to Norris towards the end, a fact attributed to some damage on his car. Such nuances highlight how competitive the atmosphere is in Formula One. Christian Horner's theory suggests Norris may have tightened up when pressed by Verstappen's relentless pursuit. This psychological aspect of racing can be as crucial as the physical performance on the track. As the race unfolded, both Norris and Verstappen addressed incidents involving safety vehicles. Verstappen's witty remark pointed towards the absurdity of crashing behind the safety car, showcasing the high stakes and pressures that drivers face. Norris, too, exhibited a serious understanding of the sport's demands, proving that mental fortitude is as essential as technical skill. Additionally, the race saw Oscar Piastri tasked with holding his position as he closed the gap on Norris. This decision by team management reflects the strategic dynamics often at play within racing teams. With the 2025 season shaping up, fans can look forward to how these elements unfold in the next races. As tensions rise and the stakes increase, Norris's journey promises to captivate audiences, ensuring that Formula One remains as thrilling as ever. What challenges and victories lie ahead for Norris, Verstappen, and their teams? Only the next race will tell. Lewis Hamilton's debut with Ferrari at the Australian Grand Prix was a challenging start as he crossed the finish line in P10. The racing legend, known for his strategic mind, expressed disappointment over team radio, mentioning that Ferrari missed a big opportunity to optimize their race strategy. After the race, Hamilton revealed that the car was really hard to drive, particularly in the tricky wet conditions he faced. The race day at Albert Park proved to be grueling for all drivers, with several crashes impacting the competitors, including Isaac Hadjar, who encountered issues right from the formation lap. Notably, drivers like Jack Doohan, Fernando Alonso, and Gabriel Bortoleto also faced their share of difficulties during the race. Amid these challenges, Hamilton found himself unexpectedly leading at one point, as he chose to stay on track while others switched to intermediate tires. However, despite this brief moment of hope, he soon realized that the rain was heavier than communicated, leading him to inform his race engineer, Riccardo Adami, about the strategic oversight. Hamilton reiterated his feelings post-race, emphasizing that they had indeed overlooked a significant opportunity to make the most of the changing weather conditions. Reflecting on his debut day, Hamilton admitted to Sky F1, "It was very tricky and went a lot worse than I thought it would go, and the car was really hard to drive today." Nevertheless, he maintained a positive outlook, pleased that he managed to keep his car on track amidst the chaos, despite multiple retirements around him. As fans and analysts alike look forward to the upcoming races, Hamilton's experience with Ferrari will surely be a topic of discussion, especially on potential strategies moving forward and how the team will adapt in the face of such learning experiences from this challenging race. Stay tuned for updates on the next race in the F1 schedule as the season progresses. Lewis Hamilton's recent debut with Ferrari didn't unfold as he had hoped, and he reflected on the challenges he faced on the track. He expressed gratitude for managing to keep his car out of the wall during a race where the conditions were as unpredictable as the weather. Adapting to a new power unit and navigating the wet conditions required a significant adjustment in both driving style and setup. Hamilton initially took the lead, but felt that the team's understanding of the weather, particularly about a late race downpour, was lacking. He mentioned that he had been informed the rain would be brief, which led him to believe that he could maintain his grip on the race. Unfortunately, that belief was soon challenged as the rain intensified, complicating the situation further. "I hung out as long as I could," he explained, emphasizing his strategy of maintaining traction on a mostly dry track. Despite his efforts, the additional rainfall changed the dynamics in an instant, illustrating just how unpredictable Formula One can be. Now, let's shift gears and dig deeper into the performance of Hamilton's Ferrari debut in Australia. The anticipation surrounding his entry into Ferrari was palpable, but the race results echoed some of the difficulties he faced towards the end of his previous chapter at Mercedes. Hamilton's hopes for a successful transition were met with a challenge reminiscent of his past. The parallels between how he left Mercedes and how he fared during his debut with Ferrari highlight a familiar narrative. As the Formula One season progresses, fans are curious about how this will affect Hamilton's all-time rankings in the league. With impressive talents like Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso also competing, the race for points and history continues to intensify. Speaking of competition, let's not forget about the stats. Fans are always eager to know who ranks among the top in win percentages. Does Hamilton hold a candle to legends like Michael Schumacher or Juan Manuel Fangio? In the ever-evolving world of Formula One, it's crucial to stay updated. With races quickly approaching, viewers can catch all the excitement in glorious 4K UHD with F1 TV Premium. The challenges and riveting tales of Hamilton's career continue to captivate audiences. As the season unfolds, we'll keep you updated on his journey with Ferrari and how he and his rivals fare in this competitive landscape. Stay with us for more insights into driver statistics and the upcoming race schedule as we explore what lies ahead in this thrilling season of Formula One. Tune in and enjoy the ride. Red Bull senior advisor Helmut Marko didn't hold back in his criticism of rookie driver Isack Hadjar following a challenging debut at the Australian Grand Prix. Marko, known for his straightforward approach, found Hadjar's emotional reaction to his own mistake rather embarrassing. The Australian GP was a true test for both newcomers and veterans, with tricky weather conditions impacting the race. On what should have been a memorable day for Hadjar, he faced an early setback. During the formation lap, he spun out at turn 2 and collided with the barriers, putting an early end to his race and leaving him visibly shaken. As Hadjar found his way back to the paddock, a supportive figure emerged. Lewis Hamilton's father, Anthony, offered comfort to the distressed driver. Despite this moment of compassion, Marko wasn't in a forgiving mood. He described Hadjar's emotional breakdown as putting on a tearful show and couldn't help but chuckle, exclaiming, "That was a bit embarrassing." Hadjar himself echoed that sentiment when speaking to reporters. When asked about his feelings post-incident, he expressed his embarrassment and acknowledged the impact of his mistake on the team. "I'm just mad," he said. "These mistakes can happen, but breaking the car so early in the season really breaks my heart." The young driver reflected on his miscalculation, explaining that he lost control of the car trying to manage the slippery conditions. He lamented the lost opportunity for experience, particularly on a wet track during his first Grand Prix. "I would say I've had similar low moments like this, but this one is tough," he concluded. As Isack Hadjar navigates the repercussions of his debut, he must also contend with the demands and high expectations that come with being part of the Red Bull program. None. Will this setback strengthen his resolve, or will it haunt him as he moves forward in his racing career? Only time will tell. As we dive deeper into the Australian Grand Prix, we can't overlook the candid remarks made by Lando Norris and Max Verstappen regarding the safety vehicles on track. Both drivers had blunt responses, voicing their concerns about the implications of safety measures in such a high-stakes environment. Their insights remind us that in Formula One, safety is always a top priority, but it often leads to heated debates. In other noteworthy news, Mercedes earned a significant victory in their appeal regarding a position loss during the Australian Grand Prix. This decision brings Antonelli back into the limelight, underscoring the tactical gameplay that unfolds off the track just as much as on it. Meanwhile, Red Bull's team principal Christian Horner showed a compassionate side towards Isack Hadjar, despite Helmut Marko's more critical perspective. While Marko might have found Hadjar's performance embarrassing, Horner was empathetic, recalling how touching it was to see Hadjar visibly upset after the crash. It was indeed Hadjar's first Grand Prix, and emotions ran high. Horner shared, "It was quite heart-wrenching to see him so gutted," highlighting the vulnerability of young drivers on such a grand stage. Yet, he also emphasized that Hadjar put in a commendable effort during practice and qualifying, pointing out, "You forget that these guys are just kids, really." Horner's message was clear. Every setback is a learning experience, and the path to greatness isn't linear. The sentiment at the end of the race was mixed with excitement and concern. Fans felt for Hadjar, but also hoped that he would reflect on the positives of his experience. After all, as Horner noted, he's got many bright days ahead of him. Switching gears, let's take a moment to address another interesting storyline from the paddock. Jos Verstappen recently lost a €500 bet to Helmut Marko. This lighthearted off-track challenge highlights the competitive spirit that pervades not just the racetrack, but the interactions between teams and their members. In breaking down the race, the focus shifted back to Max Verstappen, who was aiming to kick off his latest title defense from third on the grid. The conversation surrounding his potential to emerge victorious, despite what some might label as a problematic position, adds an intriguing layer of strategy. Can he leverage this opportunity to claim victory? And let's not forget the ongoing discussions surrounding Fernando Alonso and an associated joke about his dive bomb antics. Such anecdotes contribute to the rich tapestry of Formula One lore, making each Grand Prix weekend a fascinating narrative of its own. The race schedule promises more excitement in the coming weeks, with fans eager to see how the dynamics shift as the season unfolds. With each race, teams will scrutinize stats, head-to-head performances between teammates, and the evolving records of legendary drivers like Hamilton, Verstappen, and Alonso. As we conclude our recap of the Australian Grand Prix, it's evident that this event was not just about the race itself, but the myriad of emotions and stories that emerged from it. Keep your engines revved, because the world of Formula One is set to bring more drama and excitement as we advance into the season. In a thrilling twist at the Australian Grand Prix, Kimi Antonelli, driving the Mercedes W16, has successfully regained his P4 position after a dramatic appeal from Mercedes. This event marked a significant moment for the rookie as he made his Formula One debut in Melbourne. During the race, Antonelli faced a challenging start, having dropped out of Q1 and sustaining damage after kicking up gravel. Despite this, the young driver showcased incredible resilience amidst a wet and crash-riddled race, ultimately finishing P4 after what initially seemed to be a P5 finish. His hard-earned position came under scrutiny as he was slapped with a 5-second penalty late in the race for an unsafe release. This incident, however, had not been broadcasted, leading to a wave of confusion. But Mercedes quickly sprang into action, seeking a right of review post-race. The stewards, upon reviewing the case, were presented with new and significant evidence by Mercedes. They submitted footage from the roll hoop camera on Antonelli's W16, which had been previously unavailable during the race judgment. Additionally, aerial footage from a helicopter offered further context to the stewards regarding the unsafe release. Thanks to this diligent work from the Mercedes team, the stewards decided to quash Antonelli's penalty, allowing him to reclaim his well-deserved P4 position. This decision meant that he finished ahead of his teammate George Russell, who secured a place on the podium, while Williams' Alex Albon slipped back to P5. As the dust settles from this exciting Australian Grand Prix, fans and teams alike are left buzzing from the thrilling performances and budding rivalries that unfolded on the track. Stay tuned for more updates as the F1 season progresses. In a dramatic turn of events at the 2025 Australian Grand Prix, stewards re-evaluated an incident involving Car 12, driven by Kimi Antonelli. After reviewing previously unobtainable footage, including aerial shots from a helicopter, they decided to overturn their previous ruling. This important decision removed the penalty imposed on Car 12, and further action was deemed unnecessary. The stewards determined that Antonelli had maintained adequate distance down the pit lane before crossing into the fast lane, ensuring a clear check for safety with the drivers around him. The footage also revealed that he was able to safely navigate the area near the McLaren pits without endangering the team's mechanics. Meanwhile, Kimi Antonelli had an eventful day in Melbourne. Despite facing penalties in the closing moments of the race, the young driver managed to secure notable positions during the race, demonstrating impressive skill and resilience. However, his journey wasn't without setbacks, having experienced an early exit from qualifying. Mercedes pinpointed specific issues that contributed to his Q1 exit, seeking to refine their strategies for the remaining races. As the team moves forward, they are gearing up for the challenges posed by the intense, sweltering conditions that Melbourne is known for. Rumors of a secret weapon in their arsenal have begun to circulate, hinting at innovative solutions designed to keep the team competitive under the Australian sun. Beyond the headlines, the F1 community is brimming with excitement for the upcoming races. The head-to-head statistics between teammates spotlight the evolving rivalries this season, while fans keep a close watch on legends like Lewis Hamilton and emerging stars. Moreover, for those eager to catch every moment of the action, F1 TV Premium is now offering the thrilling experience to watch the races in stunning 4K UHD, much to the delight of dedicated followers. With the excitement of the Australian Grand Prix still fresh, anticipation is building for the next race. Stay tuned as we continue to cover the ups and downs of this electrifying season and see how the teams will strategize with new tactics, adapt to varying conditions, and fuel their hunger for victory. As the story unfolds, we invite you to keep engaging with us for more insights, stats, and the drama that defines the world of Formula One racing. The journey of this captivating season has only just begun.